Hi, my name is Mrs. Nalepa. I'm one of the first grade teachers at West, and I'd like to welcome you to the first grade second cup of coffee. I'm going to talk with you a little bit today about our reading program that we use with our first graders at West. We use what's called the Success for All reading program. We're in the Roots level, and it is divided into three concepts that the kids do every day. The first component that we focus on daily is the phonemic awareness, which is the Fast Track Phonics book. So you can access this on your Google Classroom. Every story, the kids work on 2 sounds. And they have a page in their Fast Track Phonics book that they do in class every day. The point of this, the purpose of the Fast Track Phonics is for kids to recognize that the letters work together to make sounds, and then the sounds make up words. So we also, if you haven't gotten it yet, all of the teachers will be sending home to you this, we call it a placemat, and it has all of the sounds that the kids are going to work on in first grade. We will attach to it a list of sayings that you can remember. If they make it easy for the kids to remember and learn the sounds. The first one that they will be exposed to is A-E, and as we introduce it, we would say, when we see A-E, we think, make a cake, A. And then it would just continue on. They work their way through. So when they see E, they think, see the tree, E. Okay, so that is the Fast Track Phonics portion. Every 4 stories, the kids will have a Fast Track Phonics assessment where they will have to read sounds, and write words. If you look in the front of your Fast Track Phonics book, in your partner practice book, when you look on the first page, the box number 3 is the sounds that the kids have to use for the first test using this book. Box 4 is their second test. So each partner practice book is used for 2 tests of the Fast Track Phonics assessment for the kids. The next part of the reading program is also about 30 minutes a day. During that time, they work on their shared story. Again, it's 3 to 4 days to cover the story. 4 if we have a Fast Track Phonics assessment, 3 if it's a regular story. When the kids work their way through this, they work with their partner. We do a lot of partnering. They have to learn to read their green words and their red words, and they're tested on every story reading those words. And then as they work through their story with their partner, they learn skills such as reading, retelling, and reading for fluency. Those are some really important things for first graders. When we want our first graders to read with fluency, they read as if they're talking in their talking voice. They will also answer the questions at the back of the book on the last page. They do those together in class, and the purpose of that is so that they can learn to answer their questions using question stems, correct punctuation, and using complete sentences. Every night the kids have to do 20 minutes of reading and then complete their read and respond form. What they have to do on this for the read and respond form, the parents just have to sign. The kids first of all have to read for 20 minutes a night, and then you as a parent, or the grown-up, signs the front, and then the child writes 2 words on the back. They can either be words that they find in their story or words that they find in their partner practice book that they did in class that day. Again, both of these materials can be accessed on your teacher's Google Classroom. The third part of our reading program is another 30 minutes. We do it on day 1 and day 2. It's the Star Story. The Star Story is a story that the teacher reads to the child. We're introducing the kids to different genres of literature and vocabulary, and it also teaches comprehension skills. So that's the third portion. And then the fourth portion is Adventures in Writing. That happens on the 3rd day of reading. During Adventures in Writing, the kids have to write some type of literature that has to do with the stories that they wrote, or that they read, sorry, that they read that cycle. So they're just writing a simple little, they have a writing assignment, and they learn to gradually get into using rubrics and, of course, using their complete sentences and things like that. So that is our reading program. Again, everything is accessible to you on Google Classroom. If your child shouldn't bring home a book, you've got it. Make sure that you are doing that read and respond and reading with your child every day for 20 minutes. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact any of your reading teachers at West.
Hi, first grade families. I'm Mrs. Cresco, and I am going to talk to you about the math component of our day. We are currently using Savvis Math, which was formerly known as Pearson Math, and each day we do a lesson, and it consists of 2 papers. We first have a solve and share that the students try to figure out an answer to, and then we go over it together, which is the first page on their paper. The next thing we do is we do a visual learning, which is the animated video of the lesson. And when they bring this home, you can see it's at the top of the page. It's a little breakdown of it. And it is also on our Google Classroom. You can, if you would like to go over the video of the day, you can watch that with your child to reinforce the lesson. Then we do our lesson, which is a guided practice, and they work together sometimes with their partners, and then they have an independent practice. And we always go over the answers together, so these papers should be coming home with the correct answers, as they should be correcting their papers when we go over. The back of the last page is usually a problem-solving page, and we are reading the problems to the children, so eventually they will be reading them to us too as the year goes on. But we do this together. We go over the answers, and we work together in our teams. We also have a quick check at the end of the day to assess how the students are doing on the concept that was taught for the day. They will also be bringing home, some of the classes will be bringing home the paper and pencil homework. Some are still doing their Google Classroom homework. I encourage you to try to do both if you have opportunity. The Google Classroom, there's the Practice Buddy, which is an interactive video that they can solve, and then the Take Another Look video was also on Google Classroom, and will just give them more practice and help them be more confident with our math program. And then this homework, it's a very quick reteaching of the lesson, and the top will explain to you what we learned in class, and then the students can do the lesson, the questions on the paper. There's also usually a problem on the bottom that they are to do on the back. Please try to have your children try to do the one on the bottom, as it's usually a little bit more challenging. At the end of the topic, we do a reteaching, and then we have our test. I know a lot of people have asked about the test. When we do the test, the children are not just handed the test. We read each problem with them. We go over the problem, and try to guide them without giving them the answer. They're doing it on their own, but we are reading it and we do one question at a time so that everybody is trying to stay together and so that they have some success with the test. That's all for reading. Check the Google Classroom nightly and for reading and for your math, and have a great day.
Hi, I'm Miss Mills. I'm one of the first grade teachers at Puglisi West, and I'm going to talk to you about Google Classroom today. So follow here. The first thing you do is get on the internet and then type in classroom.google.com, and it will take you to a screen close to this. You will then type in your first name dot last name at rollred.net. You'll then come to a screen that looks like this, and you will type in the password that your teacher gave you. After that, you will come to a screen that looks like this. You can click on this to do your to-do list, and it will give you different assignments that you are to complete each night. If you want to know what assignments you have not completed, you can easily click on this missing tab. You can also click here to find out the stream, and this will tell you all the important information that your teacher needs to communicate with you. And that's all I have for today.
Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. Ramsey. So I wanted to talk to you real briefly about our Getting Along Together. Within our program, I'm sure that a lot of you have seen the Cool Kids certificate come home, so I just wanted to explain that. So each week the kids are, there's a child chosen to be the cool kid, and at the end of the week we put meaningful compliments, 3 of them, and then the teacher will sign and the kid will come home with it. So I just wanted to explain that when you see that come home. Also, with Getting Along Together, we teach the kids team cooperation goals, like practicing active listening, explaining your ideas, everybody participating together, helping and encouraging others, and completing tasks together in our teams to encourage good teamwork. During Getting Along Together, we also play brain games that emphasize 3 skills that we want to focus on. One of them is focus, the other is stop and think, and the third one is memory. And then we also teach the kids about the peace path, and that teaches them how to resolve conflict that they may have and how to work through it. And at the end of each week, we have a class council where we meet together and we talk about how the week went and what our new goals may be for the following week, and if we have met our goal for the week that we were working on.